Yeah, so I'm here in the backyard garden. I'm going to pull this big cabbage out of here today. And let's see, where are we going with this guy? There he is. Check that baby out. That's a beautiful cabbage. So let's snap off some of these leaves. I don't know if we can see it, but that's a nice cabbage. So I'm going to pull them all out. I'm going to pull those red cabbages out and that other green. And this way it'll open up sunlight to these cucumbers. So the next 3 days when it's really hot, they could start growing and get up those strings, up that trellis. So yeah, nice cabbage. This guy's next. And this one formed a nice small head. Red cabbage. I never grew red cabbage before, and this is another really big cabbage, big green cabbage. So we're going to pull those guys out now. Hey, good morning everybody. July 3rd, 2021. Happy day before the 4th of July. This is the leek wearing a hat. The hat's almost ready to come off. This one already came off. I'm waiting for the seeds to dry up and we'll harvest those. But isn't that a beautiful color of pink? Leek flower. Anyway, what I'm doing today is I'm harvesting some basil that I've got growing underneath my tomatoes. And it's doing great. Let me go around the other side. Look at those tomatoes. I think this could be a great year for tomatoes as long as the squirrels stay away and don't eat my tomatoes. These eggplants are starting to get some fruit on them. Hopefully we'll get some nice eggplants too this year. Last year was a big total flop. Look at that. That's that's probably the sunray tomato right there. Yeah, it's nice. And look at these Ildi tomatoes. There's like millions of flowers on them. I'll show you some tomatoes here. Starting to form on the Ildi. There's a lot of tomatoes. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to take some of this basil I just pinch off from, you can see where the nodes come up and the big leaves come out, and then there's some smaller leaves. So if you pinch just above those smaller leaves, take that top right off, and you'll get a nice group of basil, and you'll have some more basil forming from here. So it'll just keep on growing. It's the gift that keeps on giving. So I'll take that right off of here. Take that guy off. Come in here. So I could pinch it there, but I'm going to pinch it even lower. And then what'll happen is this will spread out and that'll spread out. They'll form two new branches. So you can really maximize your basil harvest by pinching off the tops and get tons of basil all through the season. So here's another one. So I'm going to go down here, pinch it here. Take this one, pinch it right there, and then these two little guys here are going to form branches.
I know send me some love. Looking back on the tracks I covered with lines. Lord help me please, I got to keep on trying to find how to walk that line. One step closer. Every day I get one step closer, one step closer, one step closer to you. Ain't gonna shake my face.
One garlic harvest.
Gotta go with grace. With every move I make, with every breath I take, with every little step I
Rain here,
take,
so I'm gonna bring these guys
one
inside.
step closer to you.
Pretty nice garlic harvest so far. Is a squash. I thought it was a cucumber, but those flowers look like squash flowers. That's going up the other side of the trellis. So I have to train this guy up the trellis. And then we have another bitter melon on the other side over there. Yeah, I think I'll take out these favas over here in this aisle, so give a little bit more sun to some eggplants that I stuck in here. And these guys don't look like they're producing much anymore. So again, I'm just snipping at the soil level, cutting them back. We did pretty good with the favas this year. They had a really slow start. Weather wasn't great, but they started coming back and produced, you know, not too much, but enough for our family, not enough to sell. My plans for putting a little cart out in front of the house are going to have to wait. So yeah, these are the garlic chives. They're doing great. They just keep coming back. You cut them back, just chop them off at the, at the soil level, a little above the soil level, and they'll just keep coming back year after year. So get rid of these favas. I'll harvest a few of these pods that are still viable, still have some nice beans in them, and we'll enjoy those tonight. Well, that looks a lot better. So I got only one eggplant here. There's a pepper back here. I don't know if you could see it, but it's kind of scrawny. But this bed's pretty clear now, so I could probably plant some more. Not sure what I'm going to plant, but I'm going to probably sow some stuff now for the fall. So maybe some, I think I could do broccoli and maybe broccoli rabe for the fall. I think I could sow it now and direct sow it into here, and it'll be ready for the fall when the weather cools down. There's a few other cold weather vegetables that you could sow for the fall, and you have to start them in the mid to late summer, so they don't get too hot, but they start growing just as the weather cools down. So we'll see what we can get in here, and I'm probably going to pull those carrots. Maybe I'm going to pull carrots today or tomorrow, because I think they're getting really big. I'm going to probably pull all of them, or at least most of them, and that'll open up some more bed space. And the garlic, I'm going to probably pull that today or tomorrow, but maybe not. I might wait till after this heat wave breaks. Maybe I'll pull those things on Wednesday or Thursday. So yeah, so anyway, hope you enjoyed my clearing out of the garden, and I'll catch you next one. First corn, getting ready. I think it's time to harvest some basil. So what I do is I go down and I pinch off a top like that, and then the rest of these will start now growing from these two nodes. Same thing here, pinch that. Pinch that, and I mean, look at that. It's a lot of basil, and this is only 2 plants here. And so let's see, we'll pinch this one here. Some beautiful basil. Make some nice pesto tonight. So far off with just 2 plants. Hey, good morning. I'm going to harvest some what's supposed to be pepperoncini, but they look like shishito. So I'm not sure if that variety is the same, and maybe in Japanese they call it shishito, and in Italian it's called pepperoncini. But anyway, they're getting big, so definitely going to harvest some. I mean, that's a nice size pepper right there. So yeah, let's take some of these guys off. Because with peppers and cucumbers, the more you remove, the more they grow. So I'm doing just bending the stem backwards on itself, and they come right off. You got to be careful not to snap the stem, because usually there's more peppers growing above that. So you don't want to break that off. You know, if you break this branch off, you're going to lose all these future peppers. So, yeah, pepper harvest today. See you next time. That's a nice zucchini right there. Whoa. Look at that. It's a beauty. Costado Romanesco. I think it's time to harvest maybe both fennels, but this one's a little small. I'll let that stay, and we're going to harvest this guy today because it's starting to really spread out, get ready to flower. So let's see. I forgot to bring the tripod out today, so I'm on my own with one hand. Let's see how it goes. There we go. That's a nice, whoops. Oh well, we lost a piece. It's a nice fennel. That's the Florence fennel. Use that tonight, some pasta. Not bad. Look at these Chinese string eggplants. I didn't even see this a couple of days ago. It wasn't even here. Look at the size of these babies. And then look at these. These are called fairy tale eggplants. Very tiny. Not sure if they're going to grow bigger, but I figured I'll clip these guys off and see what happens. And this looks like maybe another string, Chinese string eggplant. And we have the Japanese eggplants here. Japanese jade are starting to form. There's another one down there. And yeah, things are starting to perk up a little bit here in the garden. After a lot of rain. Every day we had lots of rain. But the tomatoes are still doing great. There's a lot of green ones. I picked a couple tomatoes today that were blushed. And I picked one Black Beauty that was a tiny one, but that was blushing. So I'm waiting for these Ildi tomatoes. There's billions of them. You can see over here. These are going to be great once they ripen. And yeah, everything else is doing great. The only ones that are doing bad are the Paul Robeson. For some reason, these are two of them right here that are just wilting away. So we have a few tomatoes on it, so hopefully they'll start to blush and I can pull them off and we'll get a couple of tomatoes before the whole plant dies. But that's the only one that's doing bad. Everything else is doing nice here in the tomato patch and eggplants. So yeah, pretty good. Finally, we have some blueberries on my dwarf blueberry plant. I actually just tasted one and it was pretty sweet. Very interesting how tiny they are. Look how small they are. But there's a lot of them, producing a lot of them here, and a lot of them are starting to ripen. That's cool. Well, it's July 12th, 2021, and it looks like the Romanesco has failed. I guess it was too warm when the head started forming, but it's really interesting looking flower head. I guess we could probably eat some of this. I'm going to actually break a piece off and try it. All right, these are the first tomatoes. These ones were, I don't know what they were. They were volunteers. And this one's a little rotten, so we got to eat that. This is a Black Beauty, little baby Black Beauty, and I'm going to eat that right now. Here it is, Black Beauty. Starts off green and black, and then it turns orange and black. It's small, but it's good. Not acidy at all. Not as sweet as the ones last year, but this wasn't vine ripened, so I'm sure the vine ripened will be a little sweeter. Very good. See you later.